Good afternoon, guys. This is Shogun Chart 247. I train traders how to trade in harmony with the market. Welcome to another episode of the weekly trade planning session. Today is the 12th of May 2024. We are going to be doing the same thing that we normally do on Sundays, where we have a glance through the major indices, and then we will form our picture of where we should be expecting strength or weaknesses, and we can drill down into a couple of major pairs or interesting pairs that we have on our watch list. So the first thing we do, I've done some of this work because I don't want to take too much time. We've the ranking last week still remained the same. Okay, we have the dollar positive, the Swiss positive, and everything else is negative. Okay, and the portfolio selection we did last week still stands. Okay, we want to be buying the dollar against the major pairs, and we can sell the weakest one, which is the likes of Canadian dollar and the Australian dollar against the Swiss. Okay, however, I'm going to be looking at the chart individually so that we can actually have a better comment. Okay, the dollar index, okay, the line is still there. Let me hide some of the two here. Oops, that's not what I was gonna do. This is the one. So we can see a better picture. You can see the dollar index. This hasn't changed anything. The structure is forming above a structure. That's a momentum high. This is a bullish market. We are expecting, after this correction, we're expecting a strong move to break this high, okay, and to continue. That is the price structure there. Okay, above the structure, you can think of buying. We know the price is going through a secondary trend, which is a discounting in price. It does not constitute a change of direction. Okay, so the dollar index is still positive. Okay, and we're expecting this thing to turn around when they are ready for a move to go to the upside. The next one we're going to be looking at is the euro. The euro is negative. We can see the previous structure was broken down. We broke it again. The wave count is bearish. We have one here, one here, lower structures, and price is making lower momentum lows. So this is a pullback. Okay, and we can see price is currently in the sell zone, and this thing here, okay, the only thing that you probably need to do is to be patient. Okay, you have to be patient to wait for this thing to play itself out. All right, so fighting the euro is a losing game. Basically, the correction has taken place. Wait for the breakdown, which we are going to see it when we look at the euro US dollar. Okay, so the euro currency itself is bearish. The next one is the Australian dollar. Look at this. Even though the pullback has been very strong and violent, the price is still staying below the previous structure. Okay, this is the move. There's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of big spike on this index chart, but it doesn't mean anything to us. We can see the picture. Okay, we add this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the reset of the trend. Okay, the only time we can start to think of Aussie as a bullish market is when the price breaks above this 66.45 and add a pullback on top of here, and the continuation starts to take place. Anything beyond that is still bearish, and we should be looking for downside move after this reset of the trend, because this is a new major structure. Okay, as we see this as a major structure, that is basically what we are seeing now, and after the major structure we should see a trend follow through. Okay, next is the Swiss franc. I said this is positive. The only reason I'm saying this is positive, even though we have this wave of disbelief or a major pullback, is because we have this move here and the last structure is here. And you can see this one, even though this is a pullback, it formed a secondary trend 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've seen this last lower high, even though it's not a big structure, but we can see it. Okay, if you put a fractal on this, you're going to see there's a fractal here, there's a fractal here, and those two eyes have failed to make a lower low. It's simple as that. That is how to read the market. Remember, the price is the perception of the traders. Okay, if they are strong enough to push the price down, they will have done that. But for them not to push this down and for them not to push this down, that means there's a reason for that. Instead of pushing it all the way down to break this low, because imagine pushing the price all the way here to this point, and then there's nothing stopping the sellers from crashing this low, but eventually this was absorbed, and they broke the tiny little structure here. That for us is bullish enough above a previous structure. Okay, and if they remain above this 110.24, selling is not an option. We have to be seeing the Swiss as a positive market. Okay, and we can look at buying the Swiss against a very weak currency. All right, so the Swiss is positive. The JPY, I have to make a comment about this one, okay? Because you have to think about the price. Uh, the trend will not travel in a straight line. That is one of the important concept or important things that I always remind my students is think of the trend as you see the river, okay? It flows, there's a wave up, wave down, wave up, wave down, and the trend will not travel in a straight line. So what is currently going on in the Japanese basket is going through, we've seen the first move of the correction followed by a pause, okay? Acceptance. This move that took place last week was a very strong move. Now they are digesting it. I don't need to put the Fibonacci on this. You know this is a pullback, okay? And the next phase of the correction will take place. The minimum thing we are expecting is this. Oops. That's the first wave, B and C. So expect this to happen. When will it happen? We don't know. Okay, but you can keep an eye on the market for that to happen. And we can see last week that was the frustration we saw in the US dollar Japanese yen and the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. Is that okay? So let's do the British pound, which is another good one. Okay, this is a downtrend. We've seen the pullback, which is complete. Okay, I posted a trade. This is the only one we still have a trade going on. The only pair we still have a trade going on over the weekend is the pound. And I want to explain this with my actually it is I think it is rewarding if we spend some time on the pound index. Okay. This is the last structure that made this momentum low. We've seen the corrective wave that has broken down the B. I don't need to say too much. Just watch. If you are watching this video, just go and look at the trades we posted the other day, especially the one that we said the downtrend resumed below 124.66 on the pound US dollar. You probably understand the what I'm talking about now. So this is a normal correction. We've seen the break of the B. That is where the downtrend resumes. Then you after a downtrend, there will be a correction. We have different terms that we use for it. We can say a wave of disbelief or a deeper correction. It means the same thing. Okay. In the academy, I just say to people, it's the wave of disbelief, and we do understand what that means. Okay. So now the trend is going to the downside. The idea is this: on the index, you can actually use the Fibonacci. Price has come into the buy zone, into the sell zone, but I don't believe that is enough. Okay, they need to manipulate some of these highs. There's a 2 here, there's a 0 here, there's a 0 here, there's a 2 here, there's a 4 here. So those price points needs to be manipulated. Okay, you have to put yourself in the shoes of those that are moving the market. So I still think there's more move to be expected on Monday or Tuesday before the pound starts to capitulate to the downside. I've spent too long on this video. So let's go to the last two. Canadian, you can see this is a very good one. There was a pin there below the structure. They came down. That is a sell. This is a sell, and we should be expecting more downside in the Canadian. This New Zealand is similar to the Aussie. It's going through a strong pullback. It's the same. You see that? That's the 4. That is the 2. Excuse me. Major 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Once we see that this is 3, and we should be expecting more move to the downside. So this is a bearish market. The last but not the least is I think that's the last one, New Zealand. So I don't think we have enough time to do too much pairs, but I'm going to see if I can do minimum of 3, or if we can do it, we can do the pound US dollar, the euro US dollar, the US dollar Canadian dollar, and the Canadian dollar Japanese yen. So let's start with the pound US dollar. This one, we have interest in it because the trade is still on. And just to recap what we did, let's go to the 1 hour chart. Just to recap what we did last week, let's hide the drawings. Hide drawings. Okay. Just to recap what we did last week on the dollar, we had a downside confirmation below the 144.66, 124.66 before the news on Thursday. The price came and traded below that. That becomes a downtrend because you have a trend changing pattern here, trend changing pattern here, and that was the confirmation. So we have a structure here and a structure here. We believe, based on the way price moves or the price behavior, this high and this high must be tested. Okay, because there are liquidities there are people that are still comfortable uh, in this market, and when the new trend began, they will make them uncomfortable. Okay, I'm not making anything up here. This is the fact. If you've been in this market for so long, okay, you will know that that is a normal behavior, and you can put yourself in their shoes. If you have enough money and you can see the orders of people that you can take those money from them, you will do the same thing because you have the capacity to do it within reason. And that is why the first change of trend is always the best time for them to do that, because it's not going to cost them too much money, because they can easily push this price here and here. They might even come close to this high, and that is our expectation. Don't fall in for all this move that we saw the other day. So we took a buy immediately after the news. I posted a trade on the buy the wave of disbelief, and that is the trade. We are still in the trade, both on the trading view, and we are trading it on the MetaTrader at the same time. Okay, so pound dollar, we're not going to rush. Maybe if price starts to come below here, we can take the close the trade. But to be honest, we still firmly believe that this thing is going to go up unless the price come below here, because this is now a well-defined structure. So below 125.05 we can close the current buy, but our best sell zone will be above the 125.65. Above the 125.65, we can start to look for an opportunity to sell. Okay, selling current in the current area is a no for us. Okay, so that is the pound US dollar. The euro US dollar, upon popular request by many people, I haven't done the euro in a while. So I might as well do the euro from the daily chart. Very, very important. The euro has been is not our favorite pair to trade. I don't know why people get too uh, excited about the euro. Okay, but I'm doing this and I'll analyze this in a simple way. The thing you have to have in mind is this: when you are trading, this is the framework. Let me see if I have it. Okay, framework is this: your portfolio selection, which is what we've done. We have software that help us to do this during the week as well. Then you need to be able to do the wave structure by knowing what to do next. Okay, and that is what I'm going to do. That is what we do here in during our analysis. Very, very important. Okay, I don't need to waste too much time on this. This is the last structure that made it high. They broke the structure down. So is this thing going back up or coming back down? We will find out by counting the waves. That is why the wave count is one of the most important thing you can learn to do. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is 3. That is that is 1. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 1. That is 2. That is 3. So these 3, these 2 here, we have a break of 4 that failed to make a higher high. So we have a structural failure here. So basically, this is what we are looking for. This low represents a trend change low in the euro US dollar. Okay, that is a trend change low on the daily chart. Okay, and we can then say, let's count the wave down, because once this completes 5, then they're going to go back up and manipulate the high. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it is very important, okay, for us to see a break above this high here. I believe this high holds the key to the euro, to the next thing that the euro is going to do. There's a potential for one more break to the downside because we've only seen a failure of 4. That will need another break. Okay, this is what we have. So instead of the 5 to make a higher high, the 5 made a lower high and the price came below the 4. That is a trend changing pattern. And once we've seen that trend changing pattern there, we are likely to see another breakdown. For me, for those that are following this closely, I'll actually say make take it one day at a time. I'm going to give some buy and sell points here based on the 4-bar rules. So we're going to do this. Okay, that is your buy points there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 107.84. Above there, we can look to buy. The sell is the sell has to be below the low of Friday. I can't I can't overlook that low. Okay, you can start to sell below the low of Friday. If we go to the 15 minutes chart, you'll see a better picture of why I'm saying all this thing that I'm saying now. Look at this. This has given you a nice test of the as a consolidation. We have a break and we reverse. This, look at this move down, broke below here, broke below here, broke below here. So if this thing is going to continue, this will be your best reference, but you can buy above here. Okay, remember what is going on in the pound dollar. It's it's valid. Okay, this is more of a weaker move. There's so many waste of time. Look at that. I don't know how you can make too much on this pair, but I haven't been able to do that many pair today. But during the week we will be doing more analysis on the major pairs. My name is Shogun Chatu for saying I wish you a successful